Good evening, everybody. It is a beautiful night here in Shorter, Alabama.
To your car.
It is the Gumbooze Pointless Wreck-stravaganza. My name is Chip Chapman. I'm joined by Lightning Lloyd Shivers. Lloyd, it is good to have you here.
It's great to be here in Shorter, Alabama, and of course to be partaking of our wonderful sponsors, Gumbooze, who have brought us this Gumbooze Pointless Wreck-stravaganza. This is the showcase of the mortals, the end of summer classic. This is one hot night. You take all your superlatives for every all-star event you can think of, and then just wad them all up and shove in your mouth like a big old hunk of Gumbooze, the official sponsor of the Gumbooze Pointless Wreck-stravaganza.
And there you go. So we're going to get right to all the details you need to know. Here is how this is going to work. We are going to give you 3 full races from start to finish here tonight. Our third and final race is our All-Star Wreck-stravaganza, the Gumbooze Pointless Wreck-stravaganza. 10 cars have already qualified for that. Those are the 10 drivers who have won a race so far in this Diddler Cup season. 12 races. We got 2 two-time winners, so that's 10 drivers in that. The first 2 races are going to be qualifying races. The rest of the Diddler Cup field have been split into 2 fields of 11, and they're going to race 15 laps each, and the winner of those 15 lap races are going to be making their way into spots 11 and 12 in that all-star race. So they will have won a race, making the final 12, all 12 drivers who have won races in this season, because these will have counted as winning races. And Lightning Lloyd, that's the thing. These two qualifying race winners got some advantages and some disadvantages. The car's already going to be hot, already going to be warm. We're going to be ready, knowing the track a little bit. It's a bit of a bumpy ride. It's the Turing test track here, but also a little bit of wear on those cars already.
Yep, pretty much you run the risk of having just having a torn to shit race car right from the start of this race, and that ain't gonna be good. I take a look here back in the 3rd row. I see Richard Blood. He's our points leader. And he's
certainly
having to race his way into this thing because he ain't won a race yet.
That is the amazing thing about this. Now, of course, the qualifying, the way they are shaping up here is completely a random draw of how they're lined up here on the pole. But let's take a look at the drivers who are going to be competing in this first qualifying race. And who you are seeing right now is Paul Walker in that number 2 box of wine car, Jeff Gordon the horse in the gunk car, Stumpy Lane in that number 9 Gumbooze car, Gumbooze taste the alcoholism, Cotton Stuff Body in that number 17 Taxidermy Wow car, Burt McKitchen in the number 20 Slips Red Hot Pizza car, BD Joseph in that Legal Bet for RealMoney.gov car, Ricky Walton being sponsored by Temecula Dirt in the 32, Richard Blood, of course, the Plasma Train 41, Joey Rochester in that WCW Universe Roadblock 49, Otto Bond in the 69 car,
nice,
and Elmer Twist in the number 99 Slap Mart car. So that is your field for the first half of this qualifying race. That's going to be who we're seeing there.
It's a good field. I tell you what, it almost tastes as good as this brand new Gumbooze tequila lime flavor. You can pick it up at your nearest convenience store. You stop by your local Quick Trip or your local racetrack, and you can pick up a fresh pack of Gumbooze. You can taste alcoholism in every single bite. The alcoholism doesn't lose its alcoholism or its flavor after 10 minutes of chewing.
That is true. That is Gumbooze, now legally allowed on an airplane, because, you know, it's just gum. It got a full day of drinking in a single stick of chewing gum. Gumbooze!
You don't want American Airlines to overcharge you $15 for a 6-ounce thing of beer.
There you go. You can just drop $1.99 on a pack of gum and get you a full day of drinking without all the drinking necessary, without all the time And you know what? The hangover, it's still going to be there. It's still going to be there.
You're going to spend a lot less money in LAX than you ever thought possible when you decide to switch from regular hard liquor to Gumbooze, now available at all duty-free shops in the United Arab Emirates.
It's a worldly brand for some simple small-town folks. Well, we are getting ready for this first qualifying race. Latin and Lloyd, I understand we've got a very special... you know, we're gonna save most of the pomp and circumstance for our main event later on, which of course, again, 2 15-lap qualifying races. The main event is going to be 30 laps, and that's going to be a big one. We're going to have all the pomp and circumstance and the entrances for that. But I think since we're going to start our race, we should probably start with our prayer, should we not?
Let's get prayer here. As I understand it, we have a fella down here, the local deputy preacher down here from the local Zoophiliacs church here down in Shorter, Alabama. I'm going to deliver a fine speech here, okay?
God bless.
Good evening. A reading from the book, from the secret diary of Peter the Zoophiliacs. And Peter said, "It's always been a fantasy of mine to be a set slave for 2 bears, male and female, pleasing the male when she's tired, and vice versa, slowly sliding my lips up and down his thick shaft, tasting his pre-cum on my tongue. Once he's had enough of that, he rolls over onto his back, lifting me up as though I weighed nothing, gently placing me on his cock. I guide him in, feeling him stretch me wide open. I'm on with pleasure, feeling him fill me up. He growls softly. I feel it rumble deep in his chest, vibrating all the way down his body and through mine. He could lift me up to the moon, and then pull me back down. He's doing all the work for me. It feels so good, the warmth of the fur, his paws either side of my waist. He is in total control. I'm just nothing compared to his vast size and strength, but I have total trust in him. I know he won't hurt me. Amen."
Well, that's, you know, we got to be understanding of all kinds of religions in this world, so I guess we got to be understanding of that one. That's a very nice prayer, and I think we are getting very close to racing time in our first race. And
I tell you what, that prayer got me frisky for some reason. I can't imagine why. Maybe it's the Gumbooze that's faking. Hey, you know they got this in Jim Beam flavor and in Maker's Mark as well.
Oh, bless. Oh, that. You know what that is? That is variety. That is fantastic variety from Gumbooze. Gumbooze variety is the spice that gets you drunk. And I think it's time to hear those not quite famous, but kind of famous words in motorsports. Just, you know, enough to get the idea.
Drivers, shoot your Gumbooze!
There we go. And I think we just heard that. And you can see, there we go. Lee Corso leading these cars around this track. They are not doing a full. They are not doing a full pit lap. We're going to keep our eye on a full pace lap. Excuse me. We're going to keep our eye on Lee Corso where he is headed over those humps. See some of those cars already getting a feel for this course.
Yes, of course, it combines the thrills of a dirt track with the thrills of a road course with the excitement of a demolition derby and a game of Excite Bike on your NES that your brother never let you borrow.
And as they head around that final hump, we got a goddamn auto race. Let's go diddling for the first time. Look at him get that little bit of air going around that huge bank turn. And that is a nice fairground in the background. Ricky Walton leading this pack with Jeff Gordon, the horse, on the inside. Well, the inside for some of these. This is going to be a quick race, Lloyd, so they got to make some moves quickly. Don't you agree?
Absolutely, and it doesn't seem like there's going to be many places to pass here, so they're just going to have to drive stupidly aggressive. Also, for the shits and giggles of it, you see those the somewhat flimsy looking little these little banners around here.
Oh yeah, that's the only thing that's keeping these cars from those crowd.
Absolutely. And of course, we even had those electrified. Now, just for protection of the drivers.
Of course. No doubt about that. And you see, we're seeing Ricky Walton right now. There we go. Forgot we didn't have the intervals up there, and something's going on with BD Joseph.
Oh,
he's just dropped some time, but looks like we're seeing Ricky Walton going into lap number 2.
You know, they pay good money for they paid good money for those seats at the top of the Ferris wheel.
That they have, and that's a big bank of a turn to get around, and that is Ricky Walton taking that turn like a pro. Ricky Walton not having the best of seasons, but he is looking pretty good when he's got some clean air. You know, he's led some races, hadn't had the best of seasons, but you know, maybe this is a good time to show off what that 32 team can do behind the wheel of that Pontiac Bonneville. And he's got Jeff Gordon, the horse, also another car. Oh, he may have hit that wall. He may have hit that electrified barrier, but he's still going. He just kind of maybe gave up a little bit of...
Well, Cotton Stuff Body seems to be off the pace. I think he may have hit the barbed wire portion of the electrified barbed wire barriers around this track.
That's a good point. Let's see what's going on with Cotton Stuff Body. Looks like he is very well off the pace. I don't know what seemed to happen with him, but we're going to keep an eye on that. He's got, looks like he got Stumpy Lane behind him. That might be, we ain't a lap down just yet, but I'm kind of surprised. We're going to keep an eye on what's going on with Stumpy Lane and all the cars behind him.
Of course,
Cotton Stuff Body definitely having some trouble with that car. Maybe the end of his race.
Well, you know, in case Stumpy Lane doesn't make it to the end of this race, you know, he's done a great job representing the fine sponsors of this event. Gumbooze. It's booze you can chew on.
No doubt about that. And as much as I'd like to bring that logo up, I think it's going to screw up some of the graphics, so we're just going to pretend that the logo comes up.
Oh, we can just do it in the post-production. It's cool.
And yet we are seeing Cotton Stuff Body down a lap. That is official now that we've gone a full lap around, and Ricky Walton on lap number 4 being tailed by the horse, by Jeff Gordon, the horse, who just needs that right turn, the right corner to go ahead and make that pass. BD Joseph not too far behind either, and you can see this course is gonna be hell on these cars. Look at those hard landings they're taking. They're getting a little bit of air. That ain't gonna be, those chassis ain't gonna be happy, Lord.
But of course, I've seen it in the betting guy myself. Jeff Gordon, the horse, tends to perform better on a dirt track than he does on artificial turf surfaces.
Well, we're seeing it right now. He is a solid second place, but again, number 2 does not get you any sort of a place into the final event. That spot right now goes to Ricky Walton, but he's got to be, Jeff Gordon, the horse, is going to be hoping, I think, that Ricky Walton maybe takes a turn wrong, or perhaps, you know, just puts it into the electrified fence or into that fire truck we just see on the screen right now.
I talked to Ricky Walton before this race earlier today, and he told me that, you know, he had some words of wisdom. You know, he looked to his heroes in races for years past for inspiration, so he could psych himself up for this event. And as he told me,
good idea.
As he quoted to me, as far as his favorite driver goes, he said to me, "Boyd, has there ever been a better racing driver than Rich Bickle?"
I mean, you know, that's a good man to listen. That's a good man to learn from. No doubt about that. And Ricky Walton's been extending his lead. He's up to 1.6 seconds over Jeff Gordon, the horse. And BD Joseph right behind him. Oh, that was a hard landing that Jeff Gordon, the horse, just took. Let's keep an eye on our leader right now, Ricky Walton, on lap number 6 right now. And
these folks are just hooting and hollering. They're having a good time. They're chewing their gum booze. They're tailgating with their friends.
They They sure are. That is, of course, Gumbooze. The only gum with booze in it. Hey, all these taglines ain't always catchy, but, you know, they gave us... We got a long list to get through here tonight, folks.
They ain't paying us good money not to read this damn copy.
There we go. And Ricky Walton, he saw it coming a little slow around those corners. We're going to see what the interval looks like right now with Jeff Gordon, the horse. And he is really extending that lead. Looks like the horse is really having some trouble, and so is everybody in behind him. It looks like Ricky Walton is pulling away from this, and barring any sort of catastrophe or wreck or any sort of issue with the car. Man, he took a hard landing there on that jump. And we are seeing those cars right behind him. But he is extending his lead, and that Temecula Dirt. You know, the good people of Temecula Dirt are going to be really happy that sponsored car is going to be right here on our broadcast for quite a lot of time. And Ricky Walton, you know, good for that 32 car.
He's like an 8-wheeled Buckshot Jones around this track.
Here we go, halfway through this race, 7 laps in the book, 8 to go. And they are coming around that big old corner. Taking a look at Jeff Gordon, the horse, in second place, 4 seconds behind our leader. We're going to go ahead and go through the field a little bit, looking at B.D. Joseph in that legalbetforrealmoney.gov, number 21, Pontiac Bonneville. Trying to get, oh, he is getting really loose on those humps. His humps, those lovely racing lumps are really causing a lot of trouble. And he is getting loose off of those. Maybe that's what's causing a bit of issue. All that dust that's kicking up. And that back end of that car is swinging around as he's making those jumps. Jeff Gordon, the horse, handling him pretty well better. You see that. Otto Bond in the 69 car in 4th place.
Nice. Very nice run.
Solid. And they're coming around. They're nearly hitting that electrified barbed wire. And here comes Otto Bond looking to put the pass on B.D. Joseph, and he makes it. Very nicely done. Joseph fighting it, but looks like Otto Bond has that pass and is moving into 3rd place. Now again, he's got a lot of ground to cover.
Absolutely. That seems to like the low line is going to be the preferred line around that Ferris wheel corner, and these drivers may need to take a look at that if they're studying up on the field for the final race.
No doubt about that. We are looking at Jeff Gordon, the horse, right now in that number 8 Gunk Chevy Prism. He's about 4 seconds behind our leader, Ricky Walton, who has had not much trouble the entire race. He's just kind of pulled away from it and just taken the car and driven the heck out of it. We're seeing Jeff Gordon, the horse, handling pretty good, just unable to really. The speeds are just getting away from him.
Throw it down, big man. Throw it down.
Ricky Walton is just making this look so easy, and he is most likely going to be representing the Temecula Dirt team. Oh, took a hard landing there. That's the one thing he's got to watch out. You know, if you're his pit crew right now, if you're Ricky Walton's pit crew, you're going to be telling him, look, take it easy on this car. We maybe have this in the bag. Just start driving a little defensively, which is just not second nature to any of these 32 drivers in the Diddler Cup. But you see nothing but daylight in your rearview mirror. You don't want to just wreck the car, wreck your chances in not just the main event, but in this race alone. You know, it's not a foregone conclusion. You still got 5 laps to go and a lot of hard landings potentially. Isn't that a beautiful view right there? Ferris wheel corner.
Absolutely. Y'all, they paid $1,000 not only to purchase the ticket for these seats, but also they had to get the crane to get up actually in those seats because that Ferris wheel is actually broke.
Yeah, that Ferris wheel hadn't been working for the last 5 or 6 years, I think. Oh, big hard landed by Ricky Walton. Oh, goodness. Got to see what's going to happen there. Got a little slow there. He's not looking as good over these humps. We're going to have to keep an eye on his times when he comes around again to see his lap 11 time, see what that is. He's going to be coming around, I think, just coming around the corner one more time. car's looking okay. He was at 61 miles an hour last go around. Let's see. This is the final hump before the finish line. And he's dropped about 2/10 of a mile an hour. But that's not much. That's not enough, I think, to really make a difference here. We're just going to have to see if he can keep the car all together.
It's still enough to get pulled over in some of these damn towns around here when I was driving into town.
School zones, my ass.
Yeah. Tell you what, those school zones ain't much for learning.
Not at all.
What these kids' learning material needs to be a VHS copy of Death Race 2000.
No doubt about that. What we are looking at right now is Jeff Gordon, the horse, with Otto Bahn right behind him in that 69 car in third place.
Yes.
And let's keep going through the field here. Let's see if we got any sort of interesting racing here. There's Otto Bahn in his 69 car right ahead of B.D. Joseph making that pass. B.D. Joseph holding on to fourth place because there's 3 seconds between him and Richard Blood in fifth. Just unable to make that pass early on. He is just kind of holding on to this spot.
Yeah, what you're seeing here are some very interesting battles that ain't gonna mean shit because Ricky Walton is checked out. He's pretty much punched this ticket. All he's got to do is make sure he doesn't do something incredibly stupid.
Pretty much that. And we're seeing that is the pace car. I don't know why we went to the pace car for a second there, but let's take a look at Paul Walker right now. Paul Walker and Burt McKitchen, probably the closest race for 7th place. I mean, there's a little bit of money involved, but I mean, it's just pocket change at this point. It's a couple gift cards, but I mean, you know, they still got something to race for. Just, you know, not a spot in the big old.
And you know what you can buy for? And you know what you can buy with pocket change? That's right. That's a packet, a 15-pack of Gumbooze Extra Stout with extra hops and barley, 6 with at least 12% alcohol by volume in every delicious strip of Gumbooze.
There you go. Gumbooze, your children ain't coming back. And we're looking at Paul Walker, and that's Burt McKitchen very close. On 2 laps to go, it looks like Ricky Walton is the foregone conclusion. We'll keep an eye on this little race here. Burt McKitchen and Paul Walker have not been able to separate, and they're taking some hard licks on those humps. Might be something to watch for in our second race. Coming up in just a few. But right now we're going to go back to Ricky Walton, who seems to have everything in control. He's going to hit one more and see the white flag. Ricky Walton looks like he is going to be the first qualifier as he is about to lap Cut and Stuff. He's going to lap Joey Rochester, not Cut and Stuff, but he's already been lapped down.
Y'all, I can't believe it. Ricky Walton just drove the best race in the history of Western civilization.
I think that's a bit exaggerative, but you know, why not? It sounds really good, don't it? And all he's got to do is just make sure he does not get into. Oh, he almost got into Joey Rochester there. That's not something you want to do right now. You don't want to start racing side by side with a lap down car on the final lap of this. This is potentially dangerous.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
But it looks like we are gonna see Ricky Walton. It's unbelievable that Temecula Dirt is going to have representation in the Gumbooze Pointless Wreck-stravaganza. Ricky Walton is your first of 2 qualifiers for the main event later. And that is huge. That is huge news for that Gumbooze team. That's the Gumbooze team, after that Temecula Dirt team.
Absolutely, y'all, and consider the way that they've struggled this season to pick up a big win like this. I mean, it's only going to get you to the main event, but that may be just the kind of boost that you need in order to get your season turned back around.
And a good race for Jeff Gordon, the horse. Otto Bahn in 3rd place, B.D. Joseph, Richard Blood. You can see the rest of it up on your screen right there, the final placements. It was Ricky Walton's race from the very get-go, and Temecula Dirt on the dirt track, as was pointed out to me. He's going to qualify. He's going to be showing up later on, and I think he's just kind of getting some good laps in to celebrate. He's going to head over to the pits, and they don't have a lot of turnaround.
Yeah, they got to get that car fixed, which reminds me that Gumbooze is not only a refreshing alcohol-filled snack for you and your whole family, it also has many uses around the garage. You could use it to put together bent-up sheet metal. You can use it to weld together suspension bits that have been all fucked up. Like hell, I wouldn't be surprised if huge wires of Gumbooze are what's the only thing that's making that Ferris wheel somewhat structurally integral.
Well, there you go. There you have it. Oops, gotta stop that. I didn't know why that played again. Whoops.
Oh shit.
We're fine. We're fine. We don't need to hear. We don't need to hear that music again. That's fine. It's fine. It's all good.
These damn interns from the community college, man. I tell you what, they ain't no good for shit.
No, they ain't. And I think we need to go ahead, and we're getting Ricky Walton, of course. You know, your winner of that first qualifier. He is going to make his way into the field of our race later, and he is just he is heading to the pits. His team is going to be ready for that. Going to be all sorts of ready for.
They're going to bust out the Gumbooze here. They're already applying it to the sheet metal of the car here to get a quick turnaround for you.
That they are, and of course. Go ahead and set up our next race right now, and we are going to see. We're going to go ahead and pull up our second set of qualifiers. Bring this on down. There you see it. We are getting ready to race here. You can see that there is our field of 11 for our second qualifying race. That is Mr. Naga's Most Glorious Driver, and that number 10, Kumite, Most Glorious Mr. Naga, Toyota Yaris, the only Yaris in all of the Diddler Cup. Rusty Arcan in the number 12, LOA Dodge Stratus. Jasper Cudisark driving the number 25, Throat Candy Tobacco Lozenges Chevy Prism. Reverend Pastor Chavez in that number 33 Dodge Stratus, sponsored by Crast Punch. Jeff Shanice in the number 38 Jeff's Chinese car. That's, of course, a Chevy Prism. Jean-Paul Henry also in a Chevy. He's driving the number 40 Ludger Beer Bombs car. He's a top 5 driver. Something funny to you, Lloyd?
No, I'm just... I don't know if it's the Gumbooze or not, man, but Jean-Paul Henry's hair is cracking me up.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Of course, Blind Bob McGee, dead last in the points, and why not? He's blind as a bat. He's driving the number 44 Chevy Prism, sponsored by the Molested Pig Barbecue. Big Daddy Thibodeau drew the lucky straw. He's going to lead this race to the starting line in that number 62 Sinead Dodge Stratus. Fat Darrell in the number 66 Pontiac Bonneville, sponsored by RU Hunger Grease Trucks. Harry Gunt in the number 87 Dodge Stratus, sponsored by the Butterfield Diet Plan. And Jimmy Poots.
God, a lot of girth in that field.
In the number 90 Filthy Boys Dodge Stratus. That is your field for the second qualifying heat. And we're going to go ahead and let y'all know that we got a lot. I mean, this is going to be interesting. We've got Big Daddy Thibodeau on. Then you're looking at the order there, Lloyd. We got Big Daddy Thibodeau and Harry Gunt. So that's two large men on that front pole.
That is a large man
on that front row.
There's a large man on that front row, and then there's an overgrown little bitch.
Of course, our good friend, our good buddy in the broadcast booth, Lyden Lloyd, has made it very known he is not the biggest fan of Mr. Thibodeau, but nonetheless, he is drawing the lucky straw here, and he has gotten himself on the pole, along with Harry Gunt, and we've seen the way this course is running, that anyone on the front row, I think, you know, looking at maybe Reverend Pastor Chavez and Mr. Naga's Most Glorious Driver could have a chance if they can make an early pass. We got to see what's going to happen here. I mean, we don't really know. We saw Ricky Walton not give up the lead for any of those 15 laps.
I kind of feel dirty chewing this Tucson flavored special edition flavor of Gumbooze. I mean, hell, it's just 120 proof whiskey. Might as well just get drunk off death. excuse me, I'm gonna shove enough more packs of this hair stuff into my mouth. Oh, burns.
That's, of course, Gumbooze. Cram some more in, you get even drunker. Warning, may contain alcohol poison. I didn't hear nothing about that. That's fine. You're fine. I think you're fine.
Alcohol poison is the best part of it.
No doubt about it. And that, of course, is Gumbooze. When they pump your stomach, it's only because the gum got stuck in it. So we are looking at about 50 seconds to go before these cars will take their abbreviated pace lap. Lee Corso going to take them around in that pace car. And
Lee Corso is also filled up on his Gumbooze here today. And driving with the mascot hat on as per usual.
Absolutely he has. Lloyd, before we get things started, you got any quick predictions in this one? Who you liking in this race?
I'm particularly liking Harry Gunt from the outside of the front row here. I also think that, you know, Mr. Most Glorious driver here, he might have a good shot to win it. I think everybody's going to be real desperate to try and get their way up through the rest of the field here.
Well, then they got a chance. They got a chance to watch that first race, and let's go ahead and give those not quite. Okay, thank goodness that was garbled enough that we didn't have to hear nothing. We're just going to pretend that didn't happen. We're just going to pretend that didn't happen. It's fine. But I think all these cars are going to go ahead and learn a lesson from that earlier race, where they saw not a lot of passing, so they got to get that early move. Maybe we're going to see a little more reckless driving here. We're going to maybe see a couple more cars taking some chances as Big Daddy Thibodeau. You can see he's on the inside pole, but he's on the outside on some of those turns. So Harry Gunt may have a good chance here.
Of course, I don't know if these boys are going to do much learning. I mean, let's face it. They probably think GED stands for Gumbooze Induced Diarrhea.
And they just call it a GED anyway. Anyway, pace car is off. Lee Corso is out of here. And let's go Diddler a second time. It's a goddamn auto race. And Big Daddy Thibodeau taking a look at that beautiful, beautiful look from Ferris wheel corner. The Ferris wheel has not been in functioning for quite some time. And Big Daddy Thibodeau got a good jump on that.
It's held up by the Gumbooze. That's the only thing that's keeping it from collapsing in on itself. The Ferris wheel running out like some scene from a Final Destination film. Honestly, I think that would be a heck of a challenge. You just got to outrun the Ferris wheel or you get scrunched.
We just roll around the Ferris wheel on this track?
Absolutely.
No doubt about it. That's not a bad idea. And we're seeing already that clean air is benefiting Big Daddy Thibodeau coming around this bend.
I will never forgive Marshall for sleeping with that man. Folks,
like that. There you see Big Daddy Thibodeau already taking a big lead, about a second and a half over Harry Gunt. Mr. Naga's Most Glorious driver in third, and Big Daddy Thibodeau already starting things off.
It's fine. I can just
to go ahead and break the fourth wall a little bit, I may have to go and fiddle with something in the file in between this and the main event to make this a little more, maybe make them run a couple more lines than they are right now. I'm just saying.
Absolutely, they got to learn how to use the rest of this track here.
Yeah, it's a qualifying race. They're kind of just getting the feel for it. You know, I think when the big money's on the line, we're going to see a lot more hard racing.
That's true. That is very, very true. Oh my goodness.
Are you okay? You have just been cramming sticks of that gum into your gum hole. I wouldn't say your booze hole, but your Gumbooze hole. Gumbooze! Put it in your Gumbooze hole. Available at all fine and not so fine retailers, especially the not so fine ones. Harry Gunt has made some good moves. That's a good point. I've been noticing by one of our spotters down there. Harry Gunt has been kind of closing this gap on Big Daddy Thibodeau. He's dropped about 0.4 of a second.
Now, Gumbooze is not an official part of the Butterfield Diets Treat Day, but I think it kind of should be. Just throwing that out there. I think it makes a good pop compliment to those McFortune cookies and the large Macs.
Well, I mean, the gum. It's gum. It doesn't really have any calories because it's gum.
It's like the pudding. Who needs to chew on some hard ice cubes and dump a bunch of sweet and low into your mouth when you can just use Gumbooze?
Absolutely. There's sugar and alcohol. Hell, there'll be sugar in your urine. You'll be pissing bonbons. Gumbooze. Piss some bonbons.
That is one hell of a kidney stone.
I mean, kidney stones are one of the side effects. I mean, but then again, what don't have like 87 side effects? You know, I mean, that's just how it is. I take like 3 or 4 pills a day, and they got about 100 side effects on there. I only feel about 35 of them.
Absolutely, especially the diarrhea.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like, especially. And you know what? It keeps me regular. That's how I say it. I take something that gets me constipated. I take something that gets me diarrhea. You know what? Balances it out.
Absolutely. That's how you achieve balance in life. It's just like setting up a perfectly fine-tuned race car.
It's the yin and the yang, only it's my poop. And Big Daddy Thibodeau on lap 5 has opened up a 2-second lead on Harry Gunt, Naga's most glorious driver.
May he run for 10,000 laps. I'm going to break open another case of this.
That's not a bad idea. We got a full crate of it over here thanks to the good people at Gumbooze. Gumbooze! AA is for pussies.
Tell them.
Hey, that's just the tagline. I'm just reading. I got the copy right here. Got to read them all.
Oh, no. I just agree with the sentiment that Alcoholics Anonymous is for a bunch of damn quitters.
That's fair. That's fair. That's harsh but fair. I think that's a good sentiment. And we're seeing Harry Gunt coming back under this. You see what that time's looking like? Harry Gunt just ran a second off that interval from Big Daddy Thibodeau. Now, I don't know if it's Big Daddy Thibodeau slowing down or Harry Gunt just had a really good run. Harry Gunt, this is going to be the story here. Let's take a look over at that 87 car. That 87 Dodge Stratus, couple of pair of Dodges here. And we're seeing Harry Gunt is giving Big Daddy Thibodeau quite the ride. And he slowed up a little bit. He kind of pulled up, not sure if the braking is going to happen in the car in front of you. I think that's really what it is. That's really the advantage on these humps. You don't know as you go over the hill. And he's looking to make that pass. Harry Gunt is going inside. Oh, he almost makes it, but he gave it a good look.
Damn it!
And looks like Thibodeau may have got a little loose coming out of that turn. That turn's been giving people a lot of trouble. This is the race, people. 0.3 seconds. They're going around Ferris wheel corner. We are seeing a goddamn auto race in this second qualifier. Harry Gunt may have the car to beat Big Daddy Thibodeau. May have to drive defensively for the next 9 laps.
Do it, Harry. Put that pressure on him.
Harry Gunt is staying right behind. You know what? I think Harry Gunt knows that he's got a lot of time. Now, just to think objectively here, Lloyd, for a second. Talk about Harry Gunt. If he's looking to make that pass, he's got a lot of time. He can be patient, can he not?
Absolutely can. Also, we can take plan B, which is just ram that son of a bitch up ahead of him right into the goddamn electrified barbed wire.
And you see he is giving it a couple of looks. He's going on that inside line a couple times, taking a look, deciding it's not the right time. This might be the time right now. After 2 big, no, he's going to stay on that line, go up the middle of that Ferris wheel corner. There's one spot he has looked at every chance. I think it is after this turn.
Jesus Christ, that blimp's about to fly right in that Ferris wheel.
I think it's fine. I think the blimp has also been broken. The blimp hasn't been working for the last couple of years. Not as long as the Ferris wheel. We just kind of made it part of the scenery at this point. And here comes Harry Gunt coming around that turn again. Those 2 humps. This is where he has looked, I think, low a couple times. Not quite. And I think Big Daddy Thibodeau is going to get a little bit of ground covered. on this lap.
Oh, hell. Look at what this is doing right now. Is this catching... Mr. Naga's most glorious driver is actually catching up to this battle. He's involving the distance. He's in third place. He could catch this lead pack.
It's very possible. We're seeing Harry Gunt just lost 2 seconds on that lap to Big Daddy Thibodeau. I don't know if something's wrong with the car from Harry Gunt. Did he drive it a little too hard? We're looking at Big Daddy Thibodeau right now. We'll go back to Harry Gunt in just a second. Harry Gunt, see, this has been a roller coaster, no pun intended, with all the ups and downs here. And we're seeing that, oh, that 10 car just got really loose. May have just had a good chance to make a good run on the 87. But we're seeing Harry Gunt maybe having a little bit of clean air, can catch up once again. He's got 7 more laps to do it. We'll see what he can do.
I want to take this time to just talk about how Gumbooze, the official sponsor of the Gumbooze Pointless Wreck-stravaganza, helps out the local communities all across the good old United States. You know,
the charitable contributions are, of course, very important.
You know, for cities like Chicago who have been so troubled with turmoil, Gumbooze provides a special Malort flavored edition that's only available in the Chicagoland metro area to those families who've lost loved ones due to drunk driving incidents that were spurned on by Gumbooze. We will provide each family with a year's supply of Gumbooze for their trouble and suffering.
That's really, it's for the community, and that is really lovely to say. That's why we're proud to have Gumbooze as the sponsor of this Pointless Wreck-stravaganza.
Gumbooze! Your daddy just ran out for a pack. He'll be back in a minute now.
And we're seeing Big Daddy Thibodeau pull away. I think Harry Gunt gave it all he could. We're seeing that interval. We're going to see it in just a second as it updates. I think it's going to extend a little bit further. Yeah, we're seeing it's 4.5 seconds. I think after a good chance, a good effort, I think Big Daddy Thibodeau is going to hold on to this one.
I'd chew this Gumbooze, just drink it, to just drown away the depression that I feel that one of my greatest racing rivals was stooped so low to get my license permanently stripped away from me in the state of Arizona.
Looks like Thibodeau just took a hard landing on that hump. We'll see how that matters, if that matters at all, in the last 5 laps of this qualifier. We're seeing he is pulling around a little, I don't know if he's just kind of let up the throttle a little bit or if the car's having a bit of issues. We're seeing now he's running about the same time as he's been running, about off by about literally off by 1,000th of a mile per hour. So that is almost exact same average speed he's been running. And
I mean, I got to give the devil his credit. I mean, he's pushing that thing like crazy out there. I mean,
maybe pushing a little too hard. Just you got to see that landing he just had on that middle hump, and you know, this is a potential hazardous situation. You don't want to land the wrong way on that car, on that equipment when you got to race later. You still got to win this race.
And of course, I would feel very sorry if one of these cars just happens to take a wrong jump over one of these bumps here. I mean, they're being extra careful to do it, but let's see what happens when the money is on the line. I can imagine we'll get, like, when we went to the guys American Bar and Grill for that race, we saw those 100 people get mowed down there.
Oh, absolutely.
I think we could break that record today.
I think that's very possible happening. That absolutely could happen. A little bit of competitive racing. I think we're going to see some different lines being run. I think what we're seeing right now is these qualifiers. They're getting a handle on the track. You know, the guys who already made it into the race have had a little bit of chance to race this track in practice, in just kind of get familiar with it. They know they're racing for the big money, so they can go all out, and we're going to see hopefully a little bit of a different type of race in that one.
Over there, you can see the bits and pieces where where motorcycle racing legend Jeremy McGrath left bits of his second vertebra out there on the racetrack.
There's actually bits of Jeremy himself.
I mean, that might be true. I can't confirm that or not.
It's kind. I don't know if it's rude. If it's more rude to leave bits of him there, or to just move him and then, you know, remove the memorial.
All right, mate, for a second, I'm just gonna break open another case of this here Viper's Mark Gumbooze.
That's fair enough. You can hand that over here. I can have it myself.
There you go. We got a whole crate of it right here. Here you go. Have a pack.
I'll just kind of tuck it in the. I'll just kind of tuck it in the cheek.
Absolutely. Get that down home kind of look right there. Cause
absolutely.
Nothing more profound than just tucking it right under the bottom lip here.
Absolutely. And we're seeing a white flag for Big Daddy Thibodeau coming around one more time. It looks like he is going to be the second qualifier. He's going to join Ricky Walton and 10 past winners in this, the main event, the Gumbooze Pointless Wreck-stravaganza.
Gumbooze. It's okay to cry randomly while chewing it.
I mean, that's true. It's on the paper, but it's also true. You can cry.
Gumbooze never writes any sort of works of fiction in their copy.
Not at all. I got this paper. Non-fiction here. I'm going to read another one. Gumbooze. She ain't coming back. That's right.
Gumbooze. Gumbooze. The reason why your dick ain't working right.
I mean, that's true. Whiskey Dick is also one of the top selling flavors of Gumbooze, and Big Daddy Thibodeau gonna go ahead and win this qualifying race. It wasn't much for.
Who cares?
It wasn't much for excitement after Harry Gunt kind of fell off, but we're seeing a lot of these cars. Blind Bob McGee's blind as shit.
Absolutely blind as shit. I'm surprised he didn't even manage to get. I'm surprised he managed to circumnavigate this whole track. I don't even know what a circumnavigation is.
Fair enough, but Big Daddy Thibodeau, your winner.
I think that's what they do around Hanukkah time. That's a circumnavigation, isn't it? I don't know.
That sounds about right. I think you're right on that one. Well, what's gonna happen right now is we are gonna go ahead and get things set up. So Ricky Walton and Big Daddy Thibodeau have joined the field. We can go ahead and get that set up right now.
We're gonna do this thing, man.
Absolutely, we are. And we are going to go ahead and set that up there. So now what we know is, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and make sure this, everything is working just fine. Make some adjustments here to make sure that everything looks about right.
Yeah, I think they're getting the stage out there for
They are getting that stage. They are starting to introduce all of the drivers. We got Florida Georgia line playing because of course we do.
I think that's Georgia Florida line. I think.
Oh, they cover band.
Yes, we got the cover. We got the tribute band of Florida Georgia line, which is Georgia Florida line.
Fair enough. I did not know that.
Different act.
I did not know that.
Of course, the Georgia Florida Line concert presented by Gumbooze. Gumbooze. Hey, let me just say, hey, wait, let me just. I love you.
That's checking the cop and make sure that was what you were reading there. But that absolutely is what is happening, and we are listening to Georgia Florida Line right now, We are giving ourselves a quick second to get everything set up. Someone's pointing out that Florida Georgia lime is also a flavor of Gumbooze.
It tastes like
you are
shit.
right. It does. It does. But you know what? You know when it tastes good? It tastes good on the bed of your truck, drinking a beer as well. Because you know what? You can Gumbooze. You can double fist it with real alcohol. But it tastes good with a beer on the bed of your truck with a girl in a cut off jeans
and your brand new Chevy in a lift kit.
Absolutely. And I'm trying to find, there's an amazing, I gotta find this one. There's an amazing there's a tweet I'm trying to find. I'm not gonna lie. That is absolutely
we're reaching out to social media, folks.
We are.
I think, are we about ready to get down to the driver introductions for this shindig?
Goodness, I hope so. I really hope we do.
All right. I think we're going down to our track announcer here who's going to introduce the 12 drivers here who have made their way into this Gumbooze pointless.
Right. Do you need the list?
I think they've got it down there. I think they were able to. I don't know if they were able to spell it right, but I think they got it.
Well, you know what? That's close enough, and we're just going ahead and we're getting ourselves some graphics ready to go ahead and get down there. And once more, we're going to go ahead and let's just go ahead and hit there and take that down there. As, of course, thank you once again to Gumbooze.
Gumbooze!
Gumbooze are helping us out here.
Drivers, to your cars.
And you can see we've got a field coming up. We're gonna go ahead and pull up that field in just a second. Are we doing our driver introductions? I think that's happening.
Yeah.
All right,
race fans, are you ready for the Gumbooze pointless Wreck-stravaganza? All right, now let's meet the drivers that will be running in this race. First, the qualifying winners. First and foremost, would you please welcome from South Tucson, Arizona, driver of the number 60 Tucson Dodge Stratus, Big Daddy Thibodeau.
Baby, it was all you made me want to roll my window down and cruise. That go run right in the middle, real broke down with you.
And from Temecula, California, driving the number 32 Pontiac Bonneville, sponsored by Temecula Dirt, Ricky Walton. Alright, and now let's meet the 10 drivers who qualified as race winners in this inaugural Diddler Cup Racing Series. First and foremost, would you please welcome driver of the Dongerex Ejecta Pan 15 Chevrolet Chevy Prism from Cornelius, North Carolina, Kevin Boner Paleman.
Baby, you was sorry, I made me want to roll my window down and cruise.
Now, Lord, Chip, I just gotta wonder, do they only have two Georgia Florida Lime songs?
You know, I can't even tell. They all kind of sound the same to me. I'm not gonna lie to you, but you know, I think that's
from Tupelo, Mississippi, driving the number 22 Human Cockfighting League Dodge Stratus, Bowie Jessup.
The moon goes up and the sun goes down. We found a little spot on the edge of town. We just all sit a little battle around, dancing in the dark with the radio on.
From Maranello, Italy, driving the number 28 wall-to-wall Salvador Stratus, Edio Sporiti.
Baby, you were sorry, baby, wanna roll my window down and cruise for the bottom that little boat down with you, that brand new shoe.
All right, race fans, now driving the number 75 Air Supply Dodge Stratus. Now residing in Melbourne, Australia, El Matador, Toto Rosanna.
If I always give me room, tell me if my ears are feeling alright,
All right, and now introducing from Poughkeepsie, New York, driving the number 4 Kiss War Machine Ford Pinto, Giacomo.
Yeah, when I was older, because I wanted it was driving around out of the south of the water. That oh good Lord, but the phone down.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Tempe, Arizona, driving the number 11 KFC I Ate the Boats Ford Pinto. Please welcome Jim Blossoms.
Mud on the grid while Jimmy on the lives. The moon comes up and the sun goes down. And find a little spot on the other town.
All right, race fans. And now, driving the number 35 Bathhouse Jim's Bathtub Gin Ford Pinto, Paul Alcohol.
Baby, you were sorry, made me wanna go my window down and cruise for the better side of the little boat out with you.
From Hoover, Alabama, driving the number 47 Just Guts Ford Pinto, Joe John Winchester.
The damn fire forward again whisper. Damn they shoot in my ear.
And driving the number 7, number 00, Nihilist Arby's Ford Pinto. Originally from Morwell, Australia, now residing in Snakebite, Florida, Morris Mayfield.
Baby, you were sorry, made me wanna roll my window down and cruise from the bathroom down to the little small town of June and brand new left kid who look a lot better when you ever need a come on.
And now, driving the number 103, Hugger Oranges, Pontiac Bonneville, Wooba Molly!
All my exes live in Texas. And Texas is a place I really love to be. All my exes live in Texas. That's why I hang my hat in Tennessee.
You know, the irony is here, he's from Mobile, Alabama. He's the homeboy.
That he is, no doubt about that. And what an introduction that was, Lord. It really just makes you feel like this is a special occasion. And you know what? It is a special occasion. It is the Gumbooze Pointless Wreck-stravaganza. We're going to put up that grid right there. Right now, you are staring at your screen. Those are your 12 drivers. Again, we'll go through it. Morris Mayfield, Woo-Bah Bala, Bowie Jessup, Elio Sparini, Jim Blossoms, Joe John Winchester, Paul Alcohol, El Matador, Toto Rosanna, Kevin Boner, Pillman, Giacomo. Those are your 10 race winners from this season so far. Paul Alcohol, Joe John Winchester are only two-time winners. Ricky Walton and Big Daddy Thibodeau race their way in. And look at that draw. Big Daddy Thibodeau on the pole with Morris Mayfield. Paul Alcohol and Woo-Bah Bala on row 2. El Matador, Toto Rosanna, and Giacomo on row 3. Kevin Boner, Pillman, and Ricky Walton on row 4. Ennio Sparini and Joe John Winchester on row 5. And Bowie Jessup and Jim Blossoms at the back. Gonna be a hell of a race, ain't it, Lloyd?
Oh my goodness! I tell you what, when there's this much at stake, when you think of the hundreds of dollars that these drivers are gonna race for, they're gonna take some ridiculous ass chances out there. Let me be perfectly clear, folks. It's a full moon out. We've got a case full of Gumbooze. We are absolutely inebriated as shit. I'm possibly drooling all over my microphone, and I don't even give a damn, because it's time for a pointless Wreck-stravaganza like no other, baby.
I'm going to ask you a question here, Lloyd, because I just realized something. It's still a 15-lap race. Do you want me to go back and make it 30 and change all the qualifying order, or just leave it at 15 and go with this? I say we go with this.
I say we go with it, too. Let's hey, y'all, watch this.
Well, we are looking at 30 seconds before those most famous words, almost famous words in motorsports. 20 seconds till we get this started, and we are looking at that field. 15 seconds to go. We've already done the time for praying is over. Your God cannot help you now. It is time for a Gumbooze pointless Wreck-stravaganza. I think it's time for those almost famous words. Lloyd, hit me with them.
Drivers!
Chew your damn
Gumbooze!
Chew your Gumbooze indeed. Lee Corso, head full of Gumbooze. That means the giant head that he's wearing over his normal head. Takes the cars around.
He's got the elephant head on. He, you know what he's thinking. He's got the crimson red pace car. He's playing to the crowd here.
He absolutely is. Roll Tide and roll over these hills. And we're taking a look as these cars get ready for 15 exciting laps. Morris Mayfield, Big Daddy Thibodeau are going to take him to that green flag. I think the pace car, we're going to keep an eye on it. Early picks for your winner of this, Lloyd.
Not Big Daddy Thibodeau.
Well, here we go. Strap something on. And let's go! Diddler, it's a goddamn all-star auto race pointless extravaganza, and here we go! We're already seeing a lot of tight racing coming around that corner. They are going fast as hell. Big Daddy Thibodeau has started this off. And he has already gained some good ground. We're seeing Morris Mayfield right behind him. Paul Alcohol, neck and neck. And we're going to see how this works. We're seeing a lot of good maneuvering on the turn. And oh, there's a big wreck, some kind of big wreck.
Oh, no way! Oh, Jesus!
Oh, there's no yellow flags because, you know, hell, figure yourself out. It's going to really split up the field now, I think.
Oh my God, you know what this done?
They may have just given the race. Did we need to fix that? Do we need to maybe fix that?
Oh, no.
We're good?
We're good now.
Okay.
I'm going to get my... Oh, shoot.
Well, we're seeing Morris Mayfield and Woo-Bah Bala in second and third right now and trying to gain some ground on Big Daddy Thibodeau. Joe John Winchester looks like he was involved in that wreck. We're going to go back afterwards and see what in the world happened there. Big Daddy Thibodeau taking his time going around that track.
Who picked up a race of damn victories back there, Joe John Winchester. Just a tough break for that kid. And, you know, he ain't got much fatherly love to lean on after this one's over.
No, not at all. But again, you know, that's the spirit we'd like to see, is racing really hard to the point that you wreck the dang car. And,
it's absolutely the kind of racing we should see here. Yep, and it's over for Joe John Winchester.
And he's out with an accident, and we're seeing Morris Mayfield coming around. Yeah, there's
All right, he's just fired his guns here from Just Guns into the side of that car there.
Yeah, I think that car is that. You're gonna say that car is done for the day. That car may be done for a little bit longer than the day.
Absolutely, I think he just wanted to fire those 45 cal rounds in the car just for the hell of it.
He's got to meet the sponsorship obligations.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And we're seeing right now, Woo-Bah Bala and Morris Mayfield are running nice and tight. We're seeing a lot of cars making their way over those humps, kind of going through the field. There's Giacomo, it's Bowie Jessup, excuse me. There is Jim Blossoms, who has moved up a spot. Paul Alcohol was, I believe, on the on row 2. He is now in second to last. He's the last car still on the track.
Of course, I think a lot of people are inspired by the story of Jim Blossoms. Of course, a man who's gone from hell and back, then back to hell, and then back to this plane, but just again.
No doubt about that. Look at Giacomo. Giacomo up racing his way up to 4th place. That wreck may have just kind of shaken up the field outside of the first place driver. But we're looking at Morris Mayfield just gained a little bit of time on Big Daddy Thibodeau, and he may be going for the long game here. He just caught back up by about 6 seconds. Let's see what he can do when he's got some clean air in front of him, and Woo-Bah Bala a little bit far behind in that pack. They were running neck and neck. Now there's about a second and a half between second and third.
Now, of course, our good buddy Beaumont Jenkins, who currently serving a couple days in the pokey for public intoxication and urination and defecation, has just sent me a text saying, Woo-Bah Bala.
There you go. We know where his allegiance stands, and Woo-Bah Bala 5.1 seconds off the leader, Big Daddy Thibodeau, but sitting on 3rd place right now and looking pretty dang good doing it. I think he's that team will be happy with that performance. I mean, there's still a good cash payout for 3rd place. I mean, the difference between 1st and the rest of the field is staggering, but nonetheless, it is. There are still cash payouts in gift cards and whatever else we have in the back.
Parts Unknown is giving out a $50 gift card.
Hot damn.
Absolutely. And of course, you get a fuel rewards card where you save up to 2 gallons of every fuel you siphon out with your mouth.
Hot
and
damn.
At any Beepus fuel stop in the good old US of A.
If you're looking for the best performing fuel, then put a little Beepus in your tank. Beepus. And we're seeing Big Daddy Thibodeau hang on to this lead right now. I think lessons may have been learned. Maybe a yellow flag on this one should have been turned on. But I don't know how often they'd have been wrecking, you know.
Oh hell. Of course, these fans are having a good time.
Oh, of course, these fans are drunk as shit, and we're going to have to go back and check out that wreck early on in the race to see what in the world happened that got John Winchester in such a bad way.
They're just whipping out their titties and their dicks and their bungholes.
And sometimes both.
At the same damn time,
We are seeing Morris Mayfield just gained 0.9 seconds on Big Daddy Thibodeau with 9 laps to go. We're only on lap 7 of this 15-lap auto race, and that could be good. Morris Mayfield is coming for Big Daddy Thibodeau. This race may not be over after all. We're going to see if he's got anything left in that tank, and it looks like there is a lot. We're seeing there's a little bit of ground being covered. If he can handle these turns pretty well, then we're going to keep an eye on this. Let's see what Morris Mayfield can do. He is gaining some ground on our leader right now.
Now, of course, these cars are getting torn up every time they graze these electrified barbed wire barriers. Of course, it's not just the fact that it's sharp, razor sharp barbed wire that they use at maximum security prisons, but the fact that it's also electrified with, I don't know, shit ton of electronic voltage here.
Holy hell, Chip. Holy hell, Lloyd. Look at that. I'm Chip. Now you're Lloyd. He just shaved off 1.2 seconds, down to 1.594 off this leader. And you know what? Morris Mayfield is coming. He is leaving Woo-Bah-Bala in the dust to contend with the fourth place car, Giacomo in that number 4 Kiss War Machine.
Just got another text from Beaumont. Says, heart of a champion, libido of a lion.
You know, those are words to live by here. And we're seeing.
He also told me to sign.
Look at how close Morris Mayfield's going. I'm sorry, go ahead.
He also told me to sign the petition. Oh, my goodness.
Morris Mayfield is right on the bumper of Big Daddy Thibodeau. Oh, he may be racing this guy into the lead. Morris Mayfield's going to take a look over this hump. He's going to try to make the pass. He's gunning for it, taking that low. Look at that into Ferris wheel turn. Morris Mayfield is running side by side with Big Daddy Thibodeau. He has not been able to complete the pass completely, but we are seeing some good side-by-side racing. He's going to stay behind him, but what he's just done right now is let Big Daddy Thibodeau know that I'm coming for you, and it's just a matter of how they handle this.
Oh, my God, please.
Mayfield is right on that bumper.
I will fornicate a beef and cheddar on this television show right here tonight.
I mean, may have to do that after the post-race such and such, but nonetheless, Morris Mayfield right on that bumper has closed that gap, heading over to take it to 6 laps to go, and he is 0.2 seconds off the lead and is going to be going low again, not quite into that turn. He is staying on the tail of Big Daddy Thibodeau. This is the story. Woo-Bah-Bala has closed up to 1.8 seconds off the lead. So Woo-Bah-Bala is coming too. I think a little bit more room to gain, but Woo-Bah-Bala is coming as well.
Oh my goodness!
We may end up having an exciting final race here. After all,
y'all, you remember those days, that race way back when I think it was Kyle Petty that dumped Dale Earnhardt back in the third quarter, and then Davey Allison came up out of nowhere and then got dumped right in the wall and then suffered his 20th concussion of the year.
Of course.
I mean, this race is gonna blow that shit out the damn.
I hope so. That sounds very exciting. Thibodeau gained a little bit of ground on that one, a little bit more seconds, but let's not make too much of it just yet. With 5 laps to go, Mayfield is still right behind him. A good lap for Mayfield, and he could easily take this lead.
Dude, this is the time where I just wish I could drink my alcohol straight up, but I just putting a few more sips of Gumbooze into my life here because I'm getting stressed out.
That is Gumbooze. It's a good substitute for when you're trying to quit, because you ain't really quitting after all. I'm reading the copy here. I'm reading the copy. And Mayfield was taking a look a couple times. Not a lot more opportunities left, and he's got Woo-Bah-Bala right on his tail. So this is going to make for an interesting final couple of laps as we head to 4 laps to go, and it is less than a half second. Woo-Bah-Bala 1.2 seconds off the lead, and Big Daddy Thibodeau is got to drive as defensive as he possibly can. He held off Harrigan for a couple of laps, but Morris Mayfield ain't going nowhere. This is going to be an interesting last 4 laps.
Oh my goodness, we're going to have a good one on our hands. Look at these fans here. They are absolutely mooning the crowd. It's a full moon out tonight, and people are just dropping their pants and just waving their ass all over in the stands like they just don't care.
They are certainly backing that ass up and moving it forward and in every other direction imaginable. For these cars, the infield party has been going on since the ending of the last race in the Diddler Cup we had. They just decided to set things up. I understand they had a mayonnaise belly flop. They had a relish belly flop, a ketchup belly flop, a mustard belly flop, any condiment you can imagine. They had a belly flop.
But not an aioli belly flop, because what are we? Some sort of hoity-toity establishment? No.
No, not at all. And we're seeing Morris Mayfield again on that bumper. He took a quick look. Giacomo is not too far behind. Morris Mayfield taking a look on that line, but unable to make the pass just yet. He is keeping an eye on what Big Daddy Thibodeau does, looking for an opportunity with 3 laps to go. He is watching for this one. It is 0.3 seconds, and you can see how close those intervals are with your own eyes. Giacomo is not too far behind, but he's about 2.2 seconds off the lead. And we are seeing with 2. Lord, you gotta stay with me, Lord. We only got 2 more laps to go.
Swallow my gum.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to pump your stomach later. That's okay. You'll be fine. You'll be fine, buddy.
Oh.
You don't want to miss this part now. Morris Mayfield, 0.38 seconds off the lead, sticking to Big Daddy Thibodeau like that gum is going to be sticking to your ribs and your intestinal walls that you may have just swallowed. That is Gumbooze. Probably not the best thing to swallow. Again, just reading the copy. Just happened to be the next one to read. And Morris Mayfield, with 2 laps to go, does not have a lot more chances. He's going to make a pass. He's going to have to do it now or just be happy with second place.
Gumbooze. My wife left me. That is the copy. And
that is the next one. I'm seeing it on my list. That was just your turn to read one. So no doubt about that. We're seeing Morris Mayfield. Is he going to have a chance to make a pass? He's going to have to do it soon, because we are seeing the white flag for Big Daddy Thibodeau, who has led every single lap that he has raced here at the Turing test track. Going into Ferris wheel corner, Big Daddy Thibodeau. He has gained a little bit of ground on Morris Mayfield, but there is still a long enough track to race. Kevin Boner-Pillman just dropped down to 7th place. Woo Ba Bala has dropped off a little bit. He's still in 3rd. Here comes Morris Mayfield. It might be not enough. Morris Mayfield made it very close, but it looks like Big Daddy Thibodeau is going to come around this bend. And he's got 1 more turn to go, 1 more set of humps to maneuver. It looks like Big Daddy Thibodeau is going to race his way in from qualifying, and he is going to be your Gumbooze Pointless Wreck-stravaganza winner of this. Big Daddy Thibodeau does it for Tucson. Morris Mayfield, 2nd place. Woo Ba Bala in 3rd. Giacomo 4th. El Matador Toto Rosanna a distant 5th. It is Big Daddy Thibodeau. You can hear the excitement in that car radio.
Yeah! We're going back there! We're back on top! Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm talking about right there. Yeah! Yeah, boys! We did it! We did it, y'all! We just won this damn reckless! Extravaganza, baby! Woohoo!
Unbelievable. Lord, trying to be professional here. I know you don't like seeing a rival and a personal rival like that succeed, but it was a hell of a race. He had easily the best car on the Turing test track all night. Lloyd is just staring, chomping his gum. That's Gumbooze, of course. Now with that's Gumbooze. Now with extra belligerence.
Y'all. Thanks for giving me the honor to go ahead and call this race here for you, Chip. You can interview his ass. I'm going out in the back. Get extra drunk right here.
I think you're well on your way there, my friend. You're well on your way there, and well, we're seeing the lap of honor, a couple of laps of honor. I think Big Daddy Thibodeau is your winner in this one, and we are going to go ahead and check out the one highlight that we know happened. That, of course, involved Joe John Winchester. So let's go ahead and check out the highlights, and by that we mean the crashes, of course. So this is, keep an eye on that 4-7 car right there, the camouflage on the American flag. That is Joe John Winchester, who, of course, was out due to an accident. This was the accident. Let's see what happened here. A lot of dust over there coming over that first hump. And going into Ferris wheel turn. And when did the problem start? It may not have even been him causing that accident. They came around that corner. And looks like somebody may have just gotten loose somewhere. A lot of dust kicking up, making it really hard to see. I think somebody may have just gotten into some sort of a wreck. And, oh, there it is. There it is right there. It was Paul Alcohol. Oh, we got into Paul Alcohol. Let's keep an eye on Paul Alcohol there. Let's roll that footage back a little bit and take a look at what happened to Paul Alcohol here. Coming around this corner. We're seeing Paul Alcohol. Oh, got into Morris Mayfield, actually. It was Morris Mayfield that caused that problem. Got into him on the turn. And gosh, you got to wonder if maybe Morris Mayfield took a little bit of damage and could have had a better car to win this whole thing. If he didn't, and then you see, oh, just riding right into him. I think Joe John Winchester thought he could get past him. Jim Blossom's even crashed into it. Paul Alcohol, surprising he even was able to finish that up. And that put Joe John Winchester on the trailer. Well, fans, it has been one heck of a race. We'd like to thank you for joining us. Thanks for bearing with us.
Hey, bud. Hey, y'all got me down to the booth here. I'm so excited to win this race, man. Hey, how's Lloyd doing up there?
Oh, that's Big Daddy Thibodeau. Well,
Yeah,
Big Daddy Thibodeau.
Yeah, absolutely, my friend. Hey, Chip, how you doing, man?
Congratulations on winning the Gumbooze Pointless Wreck-stravaganza. We're very happy to hear that. The car seems like it ran really dang good.
Yeah, it was just a fun real race, bro. We knew we had the car underneath us here to win the first qualifier here, and it was just a good time out there. Make sure it was just a good time we had out there. I'm just really happy we could get this win for all the boys back there in the shop.
I'm very, very happy to hear that. South Tucson, I'm sure, is going to be partying tonight. You know, they got their football season starting pretty soon. But nonetheless, you know they're all going to be watching. They're all staying up and watching this race over in South Tucson with your Tucsonade sponsored car. You know, it's been a tough season for you, but, you know, this win's got to feel good, doesn't it?
Absolutely it does. You know, we've had a tough season so far, but I'm just proud of everybody who built this great Gumbooze machine, and you know, this is just something we could give back to folks down there at South Tucson. You know, just something for a little bit of similar pride here. We're just going to go home, relax, think about what we need to do to get ready for the rest of this season, because I feel like it's going to be a good one. And if you see Lloyd around there, tell him, hey, no hard feelings, buddy. It's just a racing deal.
All right, fair enough. Thank you, Big Daddy Thibodeau, and of course, mentioning how important this is to the town of South Tucson. They're going to be sending crates and crates of Gumbooze to South Tucson with that win, the all-star win for Big Daddy Thibodeau. Lightning Lloyd sitting back next to me, just kind of staring off into the middle distance, chomping away.
I'm back. I'm back, y'all. I'm sorry, I just had to take a huge little drag of my vape pen.
That's quite all right. We're glad you're still with us. Well,
then I just took a big drag. I didn't even just smoke it, man. I just decided to just chug that e-juice.
That can't be good for you. That can't be good.
It don't taste as good as Gumbooze.
No, it don't. No, it don't. And that, of course, is the most important thing to remember after all of this. Is that sure, there ain't no points on the line. Sure, the standings haven't changed. sure we're going to be over at the Desolate Little Lips for the Nihilist Arby's. What does it even matter how long it is? I think is what we're going with the name. I forget personally what the next race is called. But the important thing to remember is Gumbooze. Gumbooze is a stick of gum that contains an entire day's worth of drinking. Alcohol content is just a question mark and a little emoji of someone giving you the finger. That's Gumbooze right there. Gumbooze is the reason this race happened. The reason for the season is heavy wheezing after drinking so much that you're dry heaving.
Gumbooze.
Gumbooze, where every heave is a dry heave.
You know why they call it a liter and a half? Because it's good for a day and a half.
There you go. That is Gumbooze. They are our sponsors. This has been the Diddler Cup. My name is Chip Chapman. For Lightning Lord Shivers, this has been the Gumbooze Point Stravaganza. And it has been a goddamn auto race, Lord. Thank you for joining me. It's been a fun one. And
it sure has been a pointless Wreck-stravaganza, all right.
It absolutely has. And just as a reminder, we are going to be back hopefully this weekend. The plan is this weekend for a race. We've got the Nihilist Arby's Endless Monotonous Loop at the Desolate Ellipse in Hell, Michigan. That, of course, is going to be our location for the Nihilist Arby's Endless Monotonous Loop. After all of this, why not join us for this weekend as we're back in the points? And we are going to go ahead and call this a night. Thank you all for joining us for the long haul. Big Daddy Thibodeau is your all-star race winner. And I'm Chip Chapman for Lightning Lord Shivers. This has been a goddamn auto race.
Bunch of goddamn bullshit.
Let's go chew some gum.
I'm chewing all this damn gum and figuring it. Mm.